Council Advisory Committee meeting for the Vincent Thomas Bridge Deck Replacement Project. My name is Diana Jimenez, Public Information Officer for Caltrans District 7 and one of the PIOs for this project. Before we begin, I just want to verify that everybody can see my screen. Okay, and before we begin, I'd like to take attendance. So when we call your name, if you could please tell us your title and the agency you represent. We'll start off with Nathan Bass.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Nathan Bass. I'm a Public Information Officer with Caltrans District 7.
Thank you, Nathan. Axel Palacios. Axel, if you're speaking, you're on mute. We can come back to you. Up next, we have Andrew Ross.
Good afternoon, everyone. Andrew Ross, Principal Engineer with LA County Public Works.
Thank you. Andy Chen.
Hello, everybody. This is Andy Chen. I'm the Bridge Construction Senior for this project. Thank you. From Caltrans.
Thank you. Alex Brown.
Good afternoon, everyone. Alex Brown, Caltrans Environmental Planning.
Thank you. Brian Caro.
Good afternoon, Brian Carro, City of Long Beach, Public Works.
Thank you. And Brian Martinez.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Brian Martinez. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Brian Martinez, Senator Richardson's office.
Thank you. Captain L. Childs.
Good afternoon, Lanya Childs, Captain at South Traffic Division with LAPD and also Acting Commander for Traffic Group, LAPD.
Thank you. Christine Thome.
Hi, Christine Thome from the Port of Los Angeles. I'm the GIS lead.
Thank you. Wilfred Domingo.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Wilfred Domingo from Caltrans Office of Mobility Programs. Thank you.
Thank you. And it looks like Rosemar. Can you hear us? Okay, we can come back to you. Michael Francis.
Yeah, I'm Mike Francis. I'm with Caltrans. I'm the Area Construction Manager for Structure Construction.
Thank you. George Huang.
Oh, hi, George Huang from the City of LA Bureau of Engineering.
Thank you. Germán Soria.
Germán Soria with the Western States Regional Council of Carpenters.
Thank you. Graham Christie.
Yes, hi everybody. Graham Christie with the Alameda Corridor Transportation Authority. I'm the Chief Operating Officer.
Thank you. Ikeba McDaniel.
Hi, yes, Ikeba McDaniel, Project Management Office for the Port of Los Angeles IT Division.
Thank you. Jeff Smith. Jeff Smith. Okay,
yes.
We can come back to you.
Yes.
Hello.
Sorry, Diana. Yes,
okay.
Jeff's here. Skanska CEC joint venture, the CMGC contractor.
Thank you. Jorge Pantoja.
Florida Transportation Authority, Project Coordination.
Thank you. Carrie Cartwright.
Carrie Cartwright, Director of Scuba, Port of LA.
Thank you. Lieutenant Ryan Howley. Lieutenant Ryan Howley. And back to him. Osama Migala.
Good afternoon, Osama Migala, Project Management Area Manager, Caltrans.
Thank you, Osama. Michelle. No less. Is there a Michelle in the meeting that? I think we can come back to her. Dan Murdoch.
Dan Murdoch, the Deputy for Right of Way.
Thank you. Nish Krishnamurthy. I'm so sorry for the pronunciation.
No worries. Nish Krishnamurthy, Air Quality Specialist, South Coast AQMD.
Thank you. Omar Nuzuri.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. This is Omar Nuruzi with Caltrans Division of Traffic Safety and Operations, and I'm also filling in for Rafael Molina, deputy today.
Thank you. Malise Noor.
Noor Malhis, Bureau of Engineering, Street Improvement Division.
Thank you. Godson. Okay, Ricky.
Hi, good afternoon. Godson Okereke, Caltrans Maintenance.
Thank you, Godson. We have Paul A. There's no last
Good
name.
afternoon, Paul Aguilar, Transportation Engineer for LADOT.
Thank you. John Laskowski.
Hey, good afternoon. John Laskowski, Project Manager, Port of Los Angeles, IT Division.
Thank you. Rajiv Sithram.
Hi, good afternoon. Rajiv Sitaram with Port of Long Beach, Deputy Chief Harbor Engineer.
Thank you. Saeed Rotsari.
Hello, everyone. Syed Rutsari, Senior Engineer, City of Long Beach.
Thank you. We have Scott with no last name listed. Can you hear us? Okay, we'll come back to you. Sean Kurtz.
Good afternoon, Sean Kearns, Congresswoman Nanette Barragan's office, Senior Field Representative.
Thank you. Shane Weaver.
Good afternoon, Shane Weaver with Caltrans District 7, Governmental Affairs.
Thank you. Sumay Tan.
Hello, good afternoon. Sumay Tan, Caltrans District 7 Mobility Programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Rima Tebaleva.
Good afternoon, Rima Tebaleva, Caltrans District 7 Project Manager for this project.
Thank you. Alice Tyree.
Good morning, Alice Tyree, Chief Executive Liaison, District 7, Caltrans. Thank you.
Thank you. Valerie Rodriguez.
Valerie Rodriguez, Office of Assembly Member Mike Gibson. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Jinrong Wang.
Hello, good afternoon. Jinrong Wang, Caltrans Bridge Design.
Thank you. And Kenneth Young.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ken Young, Caltrans, Office of District Traffic Manager.
Thank you, Ken. Hey, is there anybody that I missed or logged in while we were taking attendance?
Jeff Newman here, Caltrans Chief of Staff, District 7.
Thank you.
Brian Fernandez here from LA Unified.
Thank you. Welcome. Anybody else?
Yes, this is Carla Sanchez on behalf of Matt Schrapp with the Harbor Trucking Association.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
And James Butcher with LA Metro.
Hello. Thank you. I heard somebody else.
Yeah, this is James Spicer, Facility Design with Metropolitan Water District.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else?
Brandon Williams, City of Long Beach Public Works.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay. I don't hear anybody else, so we'll go ahead and get started. Again, thank you for joining us for our 20th Technical Advisory Committee meeting for the Vincent Thomas Bridge Deck Replacement Project. For today's present agenda, we have we're going to talk about our prior TAC meeting action items, an overview of the CAC that took place on March 26th. Our presentation topics include our project schedule update, pre-full closure construction work and post-full closure construction work, a project coordination map, recap of the weekend closure we had at the end of March, and our traffic management plan strategies. After that, we'll have an open discussion and review any action items that get established during the meeting, and then we'll go over the next date for our upcoming TAC meeting. Okay, I'll now pass it on to our project manager, Ruma.
I know.
Great.
Yes. Next slide.
Can you raise your volume, Remo? I can't really hear you.
You cannot hear me?
There, I hear you better now. Thank you.
So the previous meeting action items was to post upload meeting minutes and recording to our virtual event room website. And also got request to provide estimated closure schedules for pre-full bridge closures on Vincent Thomas Bridge to ports of Los Angeles and Port of Long Beach. And this information we will know later when we know exactly the duration of the nightly closures. That will be in summer of this year. Next slide, please. So let's talk about prior COP meeting overview. Next slide, please. At March 26th Community Advisory Meeting, we shared the following presentations: project schedule update, pre-full closure construction and post-full construction, project coordination map. We talk about partial bridge closure for inspection. We also talk about State Route 103 full freeway closure, traffic management plan strategies, and truck traffic for residential streets. Next slide, please. Also, at the last Community Advisory Meeting, we discussed the following topics. Wilmington Greenbelt Neighborhood Watch expressed concerns about the heavy traffic on Alameda Street and requested infrastructure improvements during the project. Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council raised concerns about the visibility of changeable message signs and suggested they be elevated for better visibility. The Union Local 13 expressed concern that rerouting through Harry Bridges Boulevard and Alameda Street would create more congestion. Also, they suggested that Caltrans consider Pacific Coast Highway or Sepulveda Boulevard as alternative routes. Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council noted an increase in truck traffic along Gaffey Street and mentioned congestion due to cruise ship activity in San Pedro. The Union Local 13 expressed concern over the frequency of closures and their impact on the community, specifically regarding full and nightly closures. And Office of Senator Richardson requested additional information on alternatives on construction closure options that we described in our final environmental document. Next slide, please. Project schedule update. Next slide. So last week on April 10, Caltrans leadership met with the ports and the industry and labor stakeholders, where the request was made to begin the full closure in late fall in order to avoid impact to two shipping seasons. And we slightly revised the schedule that we showed you last time. So the surfacing of the two routes work will take place during winter 2025-2026. Pre-full closure construction work will begin in spring 2026 and end in fall 2026. It will require one directional nightly closures and possible one directional weekend closures. The deck replacement itself, which required full closure for 16 months, will start in fall 2026 until winter 2027-2028. And post-full closure construction work will begin in winter 27-28, will last till 28-29. Also will require one directional night closure and possible one directional weekend closure. Next slide, please. So next is Andy Chen. We'll talk about exactly what will be done during pre and post closure work.
Thank you, Remat. Once again, my name is Andy Chen. I'm a bridge construction senior for this project. And before I start, can everybody hear me fine? Good? Thank you. Thank you. So for the next few slides, I'm going to talk about the pre-foreclosure and also the post-foreclosure construction work, such as what kind of work we need to do before the foreclosure and what kind of work we still need to do after the foreclosure. Next slide, please. So here are the pre-foreclosure construction works, the works that we need to do before the foreclosure. There are 5 main tasks. The first one is installation of the temporary elevator. We're gonna install 4 of them. And the purpose for those elevators are for the access for the workers and also allow the construction has a 4 heading concurrently. And the second task is installation of the temporary protective shielding. Of course, is to protect the waterway and area before the bridge. And the third one is the installation of the temporary access platform for the access for the workers underneath the bridge. And the fourth one is installation of the temporary bracing on the approach or suspend span, which is to stabilize the girders after the deck is removed. And of course, the fifth one is resurfacing the detour routes. All right, next slide, please. So here are the post-foreclosure construction work that we need to do. The work that we need to do after the bridge is open to the traffic. So for the remaining permanent work after we open up the traffic, is such as install the utility supports and also hand the utilities back to the bridge, because during the construction, some of the utilities will be relocated or disassembled during the construction, and also install the new drainage system on the seismic joints. And that's for the permanent work. And as for the temporary work, we're gonna remove all the temporary work that we installed during the pre-foreclosure construction, such as the access platform, protective shielding, and also the temporary elevators and the temporary bracing. All right, next slide, please. So here is the picture of the temporary elevator that we installed at the Vincent Thomas Bridge in year 2011. And this time we're gonna install 4 of them. They will be at band 9, band 11, band 12, and band 14. Those elevators are very essential for the work because they not only provide the access for the workers, they also reduce the number of the trucks on the bridge during the construction. As we all know that Vincent Thomas Bridge is a very narrow bridge, so we need all the space that we can get in order to have an efficient operation for the work. Next slide, please. So another way to maximize the spacing is to use the gantry crane instead of the conventional crane. Therefore, during the pre-foreclosure construction, we're gonna install the gantry crane support on both sides of the bridge, such as shown on the right side of the presentation. We're gonna install those supports on both sides of the bridge. And on the right side of the presentation, that's just the concept for you guys to know what the gantry cranes, how the gantry cranes operate. As you can see, we will have much more with the gantry crane than the conventional crane. Next slide, please. And here is the picture for the temporary platform that we also installed in the year 2011. And then this protective cover, the main purpose for that is, of course, to protect the public underneath the bridge, but at the same time also provide access for the worker to work underneath the bridge. To install this platform, we need to close one direction on Vincent Thomas Bridge during the night shift and have them assemble on top of the deck. Once it's ready, we're gonna lower it down with a crane and hang underneath the bridge. All right, next slide, please. And here is the picture for the temporary bracing. Once the deck is removed, we need to have those temporary bracing in order to make sure that the bridge is stable during the construction. As you can see, there are different temporary bracing for different sections. It's a lot of work for us to do to stabilize the bridge after the deck removal. All right, next slide, please. So we'll conclude my presentation. Those are the pre-construction and pre-foreclosure and post-foreclosure work for the Vincent Thomas Bridge. So I pass the microphone back to Diana. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Up next, we'll pass it over to Wilfred Domingo for the area projects coordination map and schedules. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Can you hear me? Thank you. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is our latest project coordination map. After meeting with the city and the Port of Long Beach, we've added projects U, V, W, X. So these are mostly to the right of the project coordination map. So project U, which is on the top right corner of the map, is the Willow Street Corridor project. Then below that is project V as in Victory. This is the Anaheim Corridor Improvement Project. And then just below to the left is the Shoreline Drive realignment. And then below that is the Project X, which is the Ocean Boulevard Improvement Project. Next slide, please. Okay, so again, the projects that we just added are projects U, V, W, and X. So we had a meeting with the city and Port of Long Beach about this. And we did not highlight this in red because these projects are not within our detour routes. And we believe that they will have a minimal impact into the construction of the Vincent Thomas Bridge project. So that's the latest that we have, and unless we have our partners over here who can give us any update, please speak up. So I guess we can have an open discussion later. So again, that is our latest project map and schedules. Thank you.
Thank you, Wilfred. Okay, so now we'll pass it on to Ken Young, who will talk about the recent weekend closure we had. Ken?
Okay, thank you, Diana. Good afternoon, everyone. Next slide, please. The weekend closure that we had on that was scheduled for March 28th through 7 p.m. on the 30th went. I would say it exceeded our expectations in terms of the work length, and traffic impact, and any associated delays. The anticipated or scheduled 48-hour closure turned out to be 24 hours. It began about 8 p.m. on Friday night and concluded at 8 p.m. on Saturday evening. In terms of travel time, in terms of travel time from the hard closure at Ferry going westbound to the 110, it was about 12 minutes in length. There were times when there was some rail activity, and those delays in total in terms of getting situated in the queue and when the rail activity ceased and the relief of the queue took about anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes. So there wasn't any extensive delays on that end. I think in terms of traffic demand in the area, it was a lot lower than what we had historically. So that's probably a result of not only the ongoing activities on the 103 project, but also a result of our public awareness campaign. Caltrans purchased targeted ads on social media. So there was a lot of collaboration. And of course, here, when we collaborate here and send a message to the public, that certainly helps. In terms of the coordination, in terms of signal coordination, Caltrans coordinated not only within, but with LA DOT to maximize the green along the corridor. So this being the detour being North 47 to Henry Ford Avenue to Alameda to PCH to the 110. So all in all, I think it was a rather successful event. I think the collaboration we have on a monthly basis and in public meetings, et cetera, and workshops was very helpful to the result that we got. Next slide.
Oh, and I'll just add one quick thing. Due to the success of the first weekend, we didn't require a second weekend closure. So
thank you.
Another plus. So thank you, Ken.
Next slide. Yeah, the next one. In terms of our TMP strategies, the priority continues to be to maximize the use of the state highway system and minimize the local roadway network. In terms of incident response, that refers to a lot to the Freeway Service Patrol, which, as stated before, will include not only the highway system, but also include the local roadway system. It will not only include service for passenger vehicles, but will also include services for big rig vehicles. So we will, the comments have been heard, and we will include or incorporate FSP services for those big rigs. In terms of bullet number 3, again, I think that speaks to the effort in terms of public information, our public information team and the team here, in terms of getting that information out to motorists, and so they can plan accordingly for any kind of pre-full closure or post-closure events. In terms of traffic control and enforcement, we're working with our partners. We've identified locations for traffic control officers. We've identified locations for candidates for CCTV cameras. I'm in the process of coordinating a meeting with LA.dot, Port of LA, Port of Long Beach, et cetera, to further discuss CCTV, changeable message sign dissemination, and other things that could be helpful towards traffic control enforcement throughout this impacted area. In terms of the last bullet, minimizing demand and congestion, that's our overall goal, and that's through a level of not only the public information officers assist with in terms of the campaign, but what we put out in the field in terms of motorist information strategies and assets in terms of fixed changeable message signs, portable changeable message signs, and even potentially virtual changeable message signs for those maybe more challenged in terms of if they're not able to see the fixed or the assets out in the field. There's a virtual component of which we could apply to navigation applications. The next slide. This is the official detour, that being off the 110 Harry Bridges, transitioning to Alameda and Anaheim, Henry Ford to North 47. This will be in full effect for the full closure, and any kind of closures pre and post will continue to maximize the state highway system, particularly PCH, until such time that the Alameda stretch within the detour is rehabilitated. Next slide. The coming slides will represent the detours associated with weekend and night closures. This slide and the next one will speak to the eastbound detour. If the eastbound roadway along the Vincent Thomas Bridge was closed, then the detour in this particular case would run along PCH and Alameda Street down through Henry Ford Avenue and North 47. Or for those motorists from San Pedro, for example, that were coming along the 110, they would use PCH and cut all the way across to the 710. And they could proceed southerly, or if the intent was to go north of PCH, they could continue north. Next slide, please. This detour is representative of basically the 103. If the 103 is available, then this would be the preferred alternative, and it would be the preferred alternative because you would essentially go through less interruptions in terms of intersections or delays associated with going through controlled intersections. So in essence, it's similar to the other one, other than so going along PCH, motorists would connect onto 103 and then transition to the 47 North and to Terminal Island. And likewise, they could continue easterly to the 710, towards and southerly towards Long Beach, or northerly towards their destination of choice. Next slide. And this last slide is representative of the most recent extended weekend closure, where on the westbound Vincent Thomas Bridge, we had the northbound 103 also closed due to construction activity, and the detour was essentially from the 710 egressing to the 110 to the 1 to connect onto the 110, or from the hard closure at Ferry connecting to 47 North to Henry Ford Avenue to Alameda to PCH to the 110. And I think that's it. Back to you, Diana.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, so this concludes the presentation, and we're now at open discussion. So if anybody has a question or comment, please raise your hand and we'll call on you. Does anybody have a question or a comment regarding the presentation? Okay, Christine. Oh, I see your hand up.
Hi, I just have a question. I see that some of the routes are up to PCH, bypassing Anaheim and Harry Bridges. Just knowing the truckers and the fact that this is they get paid by turn. How are you guys going to keep them from going through the neighborhoods, to keep food on their table for their families? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just curious because I just don't see them going up to PCH. I mean, they will if they're heading in or heading out from those directions, but if they're going from dropping off an empty in Long Beach to picking up a full one in the Port of LA, yeah. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, thank you, Christine. I think it's going back to our priority. We're trying to maximize the use of the state highway system. So that would be the preferred. We would sign it accordingly in terms of any kind of stationary signage or portable changeable message signs, or use our fixed changeable message signs to get that message across as necessary. It's understood, the routes beyond PCH will serve as alternative routes, and motorists in the know will utilize them, and they're welcome to do that. But we hope that the majority of the people that are not very familiar with the area will use PCH and to so we could absorb any kind of impacts there. I think Harry Bridges, obviously it's the official detour, but there's still some work to do in terms of the rehabilitation of Alameda. So until such time that it's rehabilitated, we will continue to work within our priorities and maximize the use of the state highway system, and hopefully it minimizes. We could coordinate as much as possible with our partners to make the duration of the travel from origin to the destination as smooth as possible.
Right. I understand. I have another question.
Sure.
Knowing that, when there was Carmageddon and they closed down everything, it was catchy. They did a great job marketing that, getting everybody to know and understand that. Do you guys have a plan like that? Do we have something catchy? Are you guys going to get that information out? I understand you have the website, things like that. I'm just wondering if there's a huge marketing way of getting all that information out like they did. I mean, everybody in California knew about Carmageddon.
Yes, we have an aggressive, we have a really great outreach plan that we have social media, we have Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a Twitter page dedicated to this project. as well as we have on our website, we post all the updates and press releases that we send out. So we're working on other ways that we can continue to communicate and get the message out whenever there are updates regarding the project. So we encourage you to follow our social media sites in the meantime, and we'll continue to provide any updates when they become available.
Thank you.
And I know that you were out most of last week, but is there anything that you could share with the group about coordination with LADOT or maybe LAPD to take another swing at the question about preventing trucks from going into residential areas? Is there any new information about that since our last meeting?
No, there isn't. But I think in the meeting that I'm trying to coordinate, we could include that in the agenda and see what we can do in terms of exploring options to address the pre-existing, but also conditions that will impact a little further with our project.
Hey, Nathan, if I can pop in really quick. So on that point, I've reached out to DOT traffic control, their executive team, as well as the executive staff for Port PD and LAPD. And so I'm going to be working on, kind of creating a plan. We want to see basically how much overtime it's going to take to be able to properly enforce and see where we can help in terms of the budget, at least on our end of it, and how we can concentrate resources on the intersections of greatest concern with the project. So to answer your question, it's something we're trying to help out with on our end as well.
Good, Axel. Captain Child, I see that you had your hand up.
Axel answered. We've been working with him to devise a plan to make sure that we are handling trucks going through the neighborhood. So that was all I wanted to say.
Thank you. I saw another hand up. Karina Sanchez Jimenez, do you have a question?
Oh yeah. Oh, Carla, sorry. I was just wondering, no problem. I was just wondering if you are planning to do like any announcements on the radio aside from the social media, and wanted to comment also that at the Harbor Trucking Association we will also push it on our socials and send emails directly to our members so they're aware.
Yeah, we're still working on establishing more ways we can keep the community informed, and once we have that figured out, we'll definitely let you know.
Okay,
Thank you
thanks.
for your assistance as well.
Of course.
Okay, I see some questions on the chat, so I'll address those first. I believe Nathan already this is Brian's question asks, will any streets in Wilmington be blocked off in key intersections in order to create a cul-de-sac? Team, does anybody have a response to that?
Yeah, I think that would be a
That's
city of LA concern.
Okay, just want to double check. Okay,
I think
Chris.
I'm
sorry, go
ahead. Oh, no, sorry. Ken and I know we kind of talked a little bit about this, so we're going to try to play it by ear a bit. So we want to see what traffic flow will look like and see where, if any, kind of incursions into residential areas happen, and then we can kind of adjust. But I know that that's not the perfect, that's not the ideal or the preferred method of blocking off public rights of way. So Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're trying to see how it's going to look like with just kind of enforcement, and then if that doesn't work, we can explore other options.
Yeah, I think we'll see what it looks like, but there's probably a lot of options to explore prior to a hard closure with a fixed object. So for example, in my daily travels, I have challenges with Metro, and I try to take a certain travel path through a neighborhood myself, and I think a lot of people have followed my fellow aren't followed their path, so to speak. So the city in this regard took measures into their own hands in terms of looking into speed humps, speed bumps, etc., to deter that kind of travel. So there may be opportunities like that to explore before doing something that would take away access.
Okay. Thank you, Ken and Axel. And there is another question from Chris Hicks. It says, what are the expected minutes of delay during rush hour traffic, similar to what was explained in the 10 minutes of delay from the weekend closure?
I can take that one, Diana. So yeah, so hi Chris. So during the environmental EIR process, we did a traffic operational analysis, and we study a peak period during weekdays under the various closure scenarios that would let us know what would be the expected delay for the major intersections or arterials in the vicinity of the project. So we do have those numbers. It is part of the traffic operational analysis report as part of the EIR. If you need a copy of that, you can let our Caltrans team know and we can get you the information. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions, comments? John?
Yes, I just wanted to talk about something that we're doing at the Port of Los Angeles, which is a universal appointment system for the truckers. And I'm not sure how that could synergize into this project, but from a data point of view, perhaps it's something we can continue to discuss and use that to better make traffic flow, sorry, someone is messaging at the same time, for traffic flow to be more data oriented rather than just making announcements and social media signs. And I know that this has been a discussion that's already been brought up to this group, but now that I'm the project manager for the Port Optimizer, and this universal appointment system is part of that project, and it's funded by GoBiz, and it's already something that the Port of Long Beach and the Port of Los Angeles are working on collaboratively. It just seems like a great fit for this project to somehow to utilize it and utilize that data and to help regulate that truck traffic that's going in and out throughout both shifts. So a statement more than a question.
Yeah, so absolutely, John. We're open for anything that would improve or can improve traffic conditions during all stages of the project.
Carrie, I think you had a comment on this.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, John, so we're just coordinate with me because that's something that has been in the works for decades, frankly. And I know it's actually moving now. And we've had challenges with WBCT, the terminal adjacent to the Vincent Thomas Bridge, of surge of movements at certain times over the last several years. And, you know, it is hoped that this could be used as a tool, but you need to actually systems to monitor the traffic flow outside the terminals to try to affect change via the appointment system, whether or not the terminals will react to it or not. That's actually even more crucial. So it's not just a matter of technology being there, it's a matter of actually the terminal operators using it and be disciplined in the use of the system, even if it didn't have this detours. So anyway, we'll chat offline about this.
Great. Of course, Carrie.
Thank you, Carrie. And thank you, John. Are there any more questions? Okay. I see that there are no more questions in the chat either. We will, oh, Rima.
I just wanted to briefly say that also at the meeting that I mentioned last week, the industry told us that the air gap that we utilities by Port of Harbor is not acceptable. Now contractor is working on reducing it, and we have good news. So it seems like we're going to have it less than 2.5.
Hi, Rima. We might have you repeat that because we missed some of the crucial information. there was some background noise.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the industry told us that 4.5 feet we originally projected for bridge to deflect is not acceptable. It will be the new ships will not go under the bridge. It's too much. So our contractor worked over weekend and found the solution. Still in work in progress, but it seems like we can reduce it to 2.5 even less. You get me? Or the sound what?
What was the last thing you said, Rita?
No, just in a nutshell, I would like to add to what Rima is saying. Basically, yes, we started working on it since last Friday, and we have we could share the good news once we complete the discussion. Basically, it's going to be an issue of construction staging, and it's a doable thing for us. So we'll be able to accommodate that 2.5 feet maximum reduction in air gap.
Thank you, Osama. Okay, any more questions before we go to the next slide? Okay. So as far as action items that were established during the meeting, attendees requested that we give them the estimated detour times from the environmental documents, so we will have that available. And for the next TAC meeting, it's going to be on Tuesday, May 20th at 2 p.m. As I mentioned, we have our project website where you can find any other old TAC and CAC meetings and any materials regarding the project, so please feel free to visit the website. Again, I'm Diana Jimenez, one of the public information officers for this project, and my colleague Nathan Bass as well. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions regarding the project, and we'll be happy to help in any way we can. That concludes our 20th Technical Advisory Committee meeting. Thank you so much for joining and for the continued collaboration. Have a great day.
Thank you.